Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm so glad you are here joining us. Thank you so much. We are right here inside Vortex Sound Studios, home of MobileMusicPro.com, and we have a fantastic video for you guys today. We're going to be talking about the top 5 apps with the random function for creative inspiration. Now, I'm sure many of you out there are just like us. When you get those creative blocks, you can't figure out what to go next, what to do with this melody, what to do with this chord progression. Well, some of these apps can help you guys today. Some of these apps really provide almost limitless functionality. So make sure to comment below the apps that you guys use when you have creative blocks for inspiration, because there really is so many out there. And of course, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And if you guys want to support content like this, make sure to check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/mobilemusicpro. So without further ado, guys, let's get into these top 5 apps. Alright guys, the first app on our list today is ReSlice by Verisyn. Now this app allows you to slice up a sample into mini pieces and trigger each one of those pieces with a MIDI note. Now this is great for going through various samples and trying to re-architect them or trying to modify them, trying to figure out new things to do with them. So that would include things like chopping the sample up, changing the pitch, and so forth. But today guys, we're going to be talking about the random function for this app. Now the preset we have pulled up right now is the dubstep preset. As you can see, there's a few different presets in here, guys, that they have so you can play around with the app. And we can trigger these like by actually tapping on them like this. And so essentially, wherever you tap, guys, if you tap the higher you tap, the higher the pitch is, and the lower you tap, the lower the pitch is. So this is a great app, again, for playing around with samples and trying to come up with new things. Now, the random function on this particular app can be found in the top right-hand corner, right next to the preset, and it's this green dice button, as you can see here. And when you tap this, guys, this is actually going to randomize multiple parts of the app. So first thing it's going to randomize is the arpeggiator in here, and then it's going to randomize the various effects that it can have. So this includes things like the drive, para EQ, phaser, flanger, delay, and more. Now, if we go click on this random button here, well, you'll see that it's actually changing the arpeggiator here. Each one of these buttons changes the arp. Now we can go to the effects page, and clicking it again, each time we click on this, it changes all of the different effects. So we can just try a few things. Let's see here. I'm gonna apply some different effects on here. So as you can see, guys, clicking on that random button affects all of the different things in here, including the effects and the arpeggiator. So very interesting, guys, very cool, and this again can provide some inspiration for you guys if you're looking through your samples and want to do something different with that sample. Alright, and the next app on our list today, folks, is going to be Groovebox by Amplify Music. Now, this is a groove machine that has both a drum machine, a bass synth, and 2 lead synths. So it's kind of a all-in-one machine for getting your creative ideas down fast. Now, what we're showing here is the actual sequencer, and you can bounce between the sequencer for the drum machine and the synths by just tapping on these. In fact, we'll show you the mouse here so you guys can see. You can just tap on these here to go in between. Now, the random function, guys, that we're talking about today is going to live within these 3 dots over here. You'll be able to click on that and then randomize the MIDI here. So if we go ahead and click, we'll go ahead and see what we have right now. We'll click play. So this is a bit of a trap beat. We'll go ahead and click random. Now what's great, guys, about this randomization feature is that it'll actually randomize based on the genre that your preset is currently set in. So if we look here at our preset, which is Chocolate Dream, this is going to be in our trap kits. So this is going to generate mostly trap stuff. So all the things that we see here so far have been generated by with the trap genre setting. So if we click play on all these, you'll see that they'll all be in the trap setting. We'll click play. So now let's go ahead and set this to more of an EDM setting and then hit the randomize button on all of these, and then click play again. So we'll bring down our presets. We'll click on Drum Kit Essentials, go to EDM Smash, which is of course more of an electronic genre. We will click the dots and randomize that drum, and you'll see that the drum patterns here are going to be more towards the electronic genre. Let's go ahead and do this for all of the machines here. Random on this, on the synth, and randomize on the drum synth, and then randomize on this other lead synth here. Now these are all should be random settings that are now more EDM focused. Let's click play. Much more electronic sounding. Let's go ahead and click random again. And one more time. So as you can see, guys, alright guys, next up today we are going to be looking at Pure Synth by Gospel Musicians. Now this, guys, is a fantastic synth. This made our top 5 AUV3 synths for 2019 video, so make sure to check that out. We'll of course have that link in the description below. Now today, of course, we're going to be talking about the random functionality, and we'll use the mouse to highlight where we're going to be clicking today. This is the random button. As usual, it looks like a dice, and so this will be the same kind of user interface across all of these apps, is looking for that dice button. But what we have right now pulled up for a preset is a bow piccolo. So what we're going to do right now is just play a few notes for you to make sure you can understand what it sounds like before we start clicking that random button. Okay, so let's just play some three notes here, and then we'll change the setting. So as you guys can see, this is changing the timbre, the tone, and all sorts of different things, because if you look here, what it's all changing on the synthesizer is the amp settings, control settings, filter, mod wheel, but most importantly, it is changing the settings in the oscillator, which include things like the gain, the pan, the semitone, the detune, spread, and all of that, even the legato, guys, changing from note to note. So it can actually change all of that. So when we click on that random button, it's going to randomize all of those things. Now, it's not going to create a great preset every single time you click that random button, but it is great for going into checking out various presets, clicking that random button, and then making that preset more unique, more of your own. And again, great for more inspiration. So we're going to go ahead and try one more different setting before we close this out. Perhaps go to, because the guitars in here are just so good, guys. Try this one here. Alright guys, let's just play some notes and start changing that random button. So as you guys can see, just changing the timbre completely, changing the tone completely, all of these different settings allows you to make these presets customizable to your own. And before also that this works on a bunch of gospel musician apps, including Bassalicious. We have a bass preset pulled up here called SH Can Owl 2. Click that random button. So again, guys, just great for changing all of these settings, the mod wheel, the amp, the filter, the control, and of course, most importantly, the oscillator settings. Alright guys, next up on our list is another Verisyn app, AudioEffx, which is a multi-effects audio unit application. And this is really great, guys, for applying individual or multiple effects across one track or your entire mix. Now, what we have pulled up right here is within, of course, Cubasis 3, which is our DAW of choice. We have this pulled up on a drum track. Let's just play the drum track for you quickly. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to apply the effects, and we'll use the mouse to show you guys where our random button is, which of course is the usual spot right where that dice button is. We're going to click that, but before we do, let's go ahead and apply this effects and click play, and then we're going to click the dice a couple times, and you guys will notice the effects changing. Alright, now as you can see guys, that effect works pretty well. It can be used across multiple tracks or just one track, and again, you guys can interchange these effects and unselect them or select them, whatever you guys want to do. And again, this random button is great for trying to find inspiration, trying to find some kind of setting that sounds good, without having to mess with a million knobs. Alright, next up on our random apps for today is going to be these drumming apps by Lumbeat, and these guys have a bunch of different apps actually with different genres. They have a rock genre one, they have an electronic genre, a funk genre, and a couple other ones. Right now we're just going to look at the rock one, guys. We'll click play so you guys can see what we're looking at here. Now this will have a random button that is in the top right hand corner that we are circling with our mouse right now. Once you click that, that actually will randomize the bank, the rhythm, the sound, and the pattern. So it randomizes a bunch of different things, and depending on where you tap. So let's go ahead and click the random button right now and hit play. And we'll tap it a few times, guys. So as you guys can see, it's very useful. Comes up with a couple of different patterns. We can click on like funk rock and choose a rhythm type and then click random, and it'll just keep randomizing that pattern for us. So very useful. Again, this app has a bunch of different things you can do, from the swing to the jam intensity to showing how many bars you actually want it to play to and others. So let's go ahead and open up another app, the Future Drummer app, which is again by the same people, Lumbeat, and they have this random button here. Again, we'll click play. So very useful, guys, for both jamming and coming up with inspiration for new beats. Alright, and as a final bonus, we just wanted to show you guys and share with you guys a couple of synthesizers that have the ability to randomize the presets. So the ability to just click a button and bring up a random preset. Again, this can be super important if you guys are just looking to be inspired. If you're just looking for something that sounds good in your track, this is a great way to do that. So let's first pull up SynthMaster 1. We of course are in here within Cubasis 3. We have all of these pulled up as audio units, except for Zeta, which is an inter-app audio. But let's go ahead and click on SynthMaster 1. And if we click here, we click on the preset, you'll see that it'll bring up another dialog menu where you can load a random preset. So that works really well right there, guys. Now let's go ahead and go to the Zeta. Now on this particular synth, we have the dice button again at the top left hand corner. So you can just keep clicking that, and that will bring up random presets. Now we'll check out the digital D1. And there is the dice right there next to the preset. Super simple to use. And finally, we'll check out the factory synth here. Finally, we'll check out the factory where we can bring this up. And to change the preset here, it's a little unique, guys. You actually have to click the O in the factory logo. So tapping on that will bring up a new random preset. We hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you guys soon. Alright, well, we hope you guys enjoyed that. We know that we use these apps a bunch when we have creative blocks and we need some inspiration. And as you can see, from drums to effects to arpeggios to almost anything, you can really randomize almost anything. And we hope that more and more apps implement this functionality in the future. And again, guys, if we missed any of the apps that you guys use, make sure to comment in below and let us know what are the apps that you guys use. And of course, as always, guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new, and definitely check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/mobilemusicpro. Until next time, guys, we'll see you later.